So Macron and five of his parliamentary leaders have come out and spoken out against critical race theory. They are calling it divisive. They are saying that it goes against the history of France and the culture of France. And there's been a huge drive from Macron to get rid of certain groups of people who can't assimilate and into the French culture. Obviously, that's from obviously he's a politician, so he's doing what the country wants because he had a little bit of a problem with the yellow vest movement, if you guys can remember a while back. Or I wouldn't say a little problem, it actually became a very serious, big problem for him, which I can't understand why he's still in charge. After all that, I think his support dropped to about 18% at one stage in the country. Now, if this was Salvini from Italy, I could have understood it. But this is the most far left, liberal, globalist, second to the throne of the European Union person that has come out and spoken up against critical race theory. Now, before we go on, please subscribe, like, share. That's the only way the channel can grow. And let's get back to some of the news stories.
It doesn't matter if you're black or white or any color.
Doesn't matter if you're black, white, brown, yellow, right?
Black.
And how we treat people is based on who they are and not what color they are.
And if they're nice and smart.
See, this is how children think right here. Critical race theory wants to end that. Not with my children. It's not gonna happen. My baby's gonna know that no matter what she wants to be in life, all she has to do is work hard, and she can become that.
Work hard, even though you don't know anyone. You can make friends.
CRT is not an honest dialogue. It is a tactic that was used by Hitler and the Ku Klux Klan on slavery very many years ago to dumb down my ancestors so we could not think for ourselves. CRT is racist. It is abusive. It discriminates against one's color. Let me educate you. An honest dialogue does not oppress. An honest dialogue does not implement hatred or injustice. It's to communicate without deceiving people. Today, we don't need your agreement. We want action and a backbone for what we asked for today, to ban CRT. I had to come down here today to tell you to your face that we are coming together and we are strong. This will not be the last. Greet and meet, respectfully.
And here we have it, critical race theory. The phrase that has captured headlines and driven news cycles was once relegated to the halls of academia. Yeah, could have thought that's where it grew. But as CRT and its associated ideas have spread to schools, to the school districts, so went the demographics of people debating its implications. Well, it doesn't seem like there's really a debate about it. You have these idiots who are pushing it down on school kids, and then you have the parents that are fighting it. Well, it doesn't seem really complicated. Ideas related to CRT have featured prominent and controversial material that pose what mothers see as a very real threat to their children's future, despite the controversy being painted by some as manufactured. The battle over CRT has thrust a long list of concerned parents into the public square. So Obama came out and called everybody that opposes critical race theory a racist. That is to help out the Democrats who need all the help that they can get at the moment, because it does look like they're falling apart with all this stupid shit that they're doing. Kamala Harris that doesn't want to go down to the border but gives out money to other countries. I actually do think that she had a good idea there. She's still a moron, but she had a good idea. Stop it on that side, invest, give people money on that side, don't build a wall. I think at this stage, these countries bordering America want to pay for finishing the wall so they can't get people from America trying to come to their countries. That's not funny. From Oregon to Rhode Island to perhaps most famously the Loudoun County Public School in Virginia, mothers have pressed their local officials for answers and started organizing dedicated to combating highly racial content. So what you need to understand is these parents have been placing ads on in on TV and radio and placards all over the place. That's from my understanding. But it comes from Fox News, so it's not a CNN thing. One thing I need to say is that I don't actually see this being discussed in on CNN and so on. They prefer to talk about the the 6th of January and the 9th of January insurrection. I didn't even know what that word meant. I had to go look it up. It's kind of interesting, It went from a charge to an insurrection. It's kind of funny. America, you just keep on you just keep on making me laugh. It's so funny. I mean, I live in a country that is basically we in junk status, and South African economy is in junk status. Okay, which means it's a danger for people to invest in our country, according to the three agencies that do this, the rating agencies, and the rand is strengthening against the dollar. Okay, now what that means is that people are taking their money out of America, and for South Africa, people are investing in South Africa. Okay, so people are investing in a country where they are taking away property rights. The country is in junk status. Crime is probably, well, if we're not making the top 10, then there's some serious issues around the world, I think we're probably in the top 3, for violent crimes. So Democrats aren't doing too bad at the moment, in running the country into the ground. But we do have space for you Americans that want to move here, because I wanted to move to your country, but thanks to the Democrats, I have decided to stay in one of the most violent countries in the world. Let's go on. When these dedicated moms hear from their children how they are afraid to speak up in class for fear of harassment, discipline, or being reported in the new LCPS online bias reporting system. Holy shit, I didn't even know about that. This motivates them to get out there and fight like hell for the children. How can you do this? LCPS online bias reporting system. That means that goes on this child's record. Okay, and they're starting this course, I think, at 6 years old or something like that. So in other words, that means your kid can be expelled for being a racist by age 7. Okay, so what you'll see I did is I played 2 video clips in the beginning. Okay, and unfortunately the world's become so crazy that I specifically played clips of specific race of people, because if it was a person of a pale skinned person, it would have been called racist, you know. And I think that's the problem, is a lot of the parents are too scared to speak out because they're going to be called a racist, or their kids will become a target. As you see I mean, like I said, I didn't even know about this, but I think the biggest problem is your kids being a target. I mean, I stay away from school because I am a fairly straightforward and fairly difficult person, and I would prefer that they do not take that out on my kid. You know, I tend to say stupid shit, so without thinking. I think somebody's cutting the grass. No, we don't have Mexican guys doing that over here. Here we do it ourselves, guys. So if you're going to move to South Africa, you have to cut your own grass. No, I'm lying. We do have companies that actually cut your grass for you. So, gardening services. It's just over here, it's white guys, not Mexican guys. Is that racist? Oh, I wonder. I'm thinking to myself, is that sort of, because it's funny. It's every movie you see, there's like a Mexican guy with a gardening service, and or Mexican people working in a hotel, making beds and cleaning the rooms, and that's the way it's been portrayed by Hollywood. But if I say that, is it racist? Because if you think of me as a white South African, Afrikaans South African, you probably think I have a farm. I don't have a fucking farm. Nobody in my family has a farm. You probably think I'm rich. I'm not rich. I'm not poor, but my parents were poor. They were brought up very poor, but they set the stage for us kids to be able to go a little bit better, and hopefully for my kid I can go a little bit better if she doesn't go onto the system and be called a racist within the next 2 years, and goes onto a system where she can't get a job. Well, she already can't get a job if she's white, so imagine how bad it will be if you can't get a job because of affirmative action, and then they've got you listed as a racist on their whatever system. This is ridiculous. I mean, I haven't read this article before, so this is seriously my reaction to this, because I've seen some far-fetched shit in South Africa and all around the world. Okay, and this is just going too far. I mean, seriously. I mean, no wonder a guy like Macron from France, who's a leftist liberal, doesn't even want critical race theory in his country. He doesn't want any of these things in his country because he says it's dividing people. And how can the Democrats not see this? I mean, you have Obama coming out and saying that it's fine, there's nothing wrong with it, and people that fight it are racist. But that's the easiest argument, isn't it? It's better than sitting there and having a debate about with critical race theory. It means that nothing that any white person ever does can fix what their forefathers did. They will inherently always be racist. Anything that they do will be racist. And somebody made a very good argument for it. They said that if you work at McDonald's and you're white and you stand there and there's a white guy and a black guy standing waiting in the queue, but they sort of in the same queue, they came in sort of the same time. If you help the white guy, you'll be a racist because you helped the white guy first and you didn't help the black guy. So then you'll be a racist. If you help the black guy, and this is what critical race theory boils down to, if you help the black guy first, you'll be a racist because you think he can't handle waiting in the queue. And it really speaks to me, the way that they explain that. I know I shouldn't laugh because this is real and it affects people, it affects children. But I've been living with stupid shit like this for years. And I've been talking about this. I've been warning you guys about this. I started talking about this stuff probably 7 years ago on BitChute and other media platforms. And 2 years back, 3 years back, I only came onto YouTube and started talking about the stuff there. But the fact of the matter is that racism breeds racism. Okay, so if you have a couple of guys coming out and going far right, okay, within the next year, okay, if you see a couple of groups coming out and far right groups and so on, you can only blame yourselves, to be dead honest. Because if you keep on telling a guy that he's a racist, 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 and nothing he can do will ever, fix that, then the guy's going to say, oh, well, okay, I'm a racist, so let's just do this. Join some white far-right militia group, and, there's nothing good that can come from this. And the fact that there are well-educated people that are agreeing with this is even more stupid. Now, there's a Russian spy that left and went to America, or he gave all the information to the Americans about Russia and their plans. I think that was in the 80s. They had an interview with him, and he actually stated there that Russia was working with a long... Now, I'm not a Russian conspiracy theorist and Russiagate and whatever, but this is a fact. This person stated this. He said that Russia is in a long game. That's why they placed all these sleeper agents and stuff there. They were targeting the kids with things like critical race theory, Marxism, and America at the moment is exactly where Russia, I think, wanted them to be a couple of decades ago. So had Russia still been a communist country, they would have succeeded in literally in taking over America, because half of the country are a bunch of freaked out idiot socialist Marxists walking around burning down stuff. Now, how do you control people like that? Because let's be very clear, you can control them. Look at China. People are very controlled there, but they get shot if they don't do what they get told. So that's the next step. But I'm digressing here. Okay, so being reported to the LCP's online bias reporting system. This motivates them to get out there and fight like hell for their children, said Ian Pryor, a father who leads the PAC focused on Lowdown County Public School. So this is the parent that I watched the video clip about, where they cut him off. They actually cut him off, and he was reading from this Marxist whatever CRT book that the kids are given to read, and this person wrote that they're using as a prescribed reading in the classroom. And this guy was reading from the book, and they cut off his mic, and while he was talking and while he was reading from the book. So obviously he went to Tucker Carlson. I haven't seen this on CNN, I haven't MSNBC, I haven't seen it on any of the other wonderful sorry, I'm still shocked about this whole LCPS, online bias reporting system. Are they going to bring that into workplaces next? Because we are, or I mean, I've made a video about Coca-Cola where they were trying to teach people not to be white, to get rid of whiteness. So is that going to be part of your KPIs or your PA reviews? So because in South Africa, part of your KPI is you need to hit a certain target for employment equity. So in other words, the more black people I employ, that pushes up my KPI, which means that I will probably get a better increase, and if there's incentive bonuses, you'll get a better incentive bonus. I'm using me as an example, but it's not me, it's a bunch of other companies that are doing this. So your very senior positions, you have that as part of your target to be able to get an increase and to be able to get a bonus. Strange ways of enforcing racism, isn't it? Because you can hide it behind a lot of fancy words and fancy things. But you know, you can take dog dirt, put icing around it, put some sprinkles over it. It's still not going to make it a chocolate cake. It's still just a turd with sprinkles over it. Yeah. So that's the thing. Now I'm not going to go further because this is a depressing discussion. Now it's happening all over the world at the moment. It's drifting to various countries, and countries are kicking back. So let's hope more people speak out about it, not just the leftist French leaders. Because I find that shocking. I really do find it shocking. Anyway, guys, if you like the video, like, subscribe, share. It's the only way that the channel will grow. It's the only way that my videos get shared, and I am monetized. So I'm not going to ask you for money, but watch the video as many times as you want. Get your family to watch my videos, because Google Ads will pay me some money if people watch my videos. Let's hope you watch it. Okay, cheers.